Welcome everyone. This is Bōde's Vancouver real estate market update for August 2022. This video is going to quickly show you what's happening in the Vancouver market at a macro level, and then I'm going to show you where you can find all the data for your specific community and property type on Bōde.ca. But first, what's Bōde? For those of you that don't know, Bōde is a tech company that empowers people to buy and sell their own homes. We make it easier and more convenient than ever before, and we also save you a lot of money. So let's dive in. What's happening in the Vancouver market? So first, we're going to take a look at new listings. So the bright pink line here shows you what's happened to new listings each month for the last 4.5 years. So you can see that for most of 2022, there's been more listings than there would typically be, but suddenly that's changed here in July. New listings last month were down 20% over what the average of the last 4 Julys. So suddenly a big drop in the number of new listings. Meanwhile, on the sales side, again, earlier in 2022, sales have been very strong, up 30–40% over a normal year, but in the last few months, that's really dropped off, and in last month in July, a huge decrease in the number of sales, so down 32% versus the average of the last 4 years. Obviously, that includes 2020 and 2021, which were big years for sales, but even versus the previous 2 years, we were down over the number of sales in those months. So a huge drop in the number of sales. Buyers are holding off right now, waiting to get into the market. I think everyone's waiting to see what's going to happen with interest rates. On the inventory side, earlier in the year, there's been a real lack of inventory for 6 months. That's started to come back a little bit, but there's still 15% less inventory than there would typically be for this time of year. So the fact that sales have fallen has meant that there hasn't been, and that new listings have fallen has meant that there hasn't been a big increase in inventory. And then for months of supply, so this is a metric that tells you, is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market? And what this metric shows is, given the number of homes for sale and how fast they're selling, how many months would it take to sell through all of the available inventory? So you can see earlier in the year there was only 2 months of supply, but now that's come back quickly in the last few months, where suddenly there's more than 5 months supply of homes in the Vancouver market. So that puts it into a buyer's market, which we haven't seen here for a long time. So the tides have shifted quite a lot in the Vancouver area, and no longer a perfect time to be selling your home as it has been for the last 1.5 years or more. In terms of property prices, in general, property prices in Vancouver have done incredibly well over the last 17 years. However, just in the last few months here, you can see that prices have started to dip, and in the last month they were down 2.3% over the previous month. However, even though prices are tipping down right now, they're still up over where they were this time last year. So if you've been in the market for a while, you likely still have considerable gains on your home. So that's what's happening at a very high level. If you want to see what's happening in your local neighborhood, we've got 3 great tools for you on our site, Bōde.ca. The first one's called Market Data, and this is where you can understand those same supply and demand and price trends that we just went through here at a market level. You can take a look at those same trends for your neighborhood. Then we've got a tool called Sold Data, where you can see the price of any home that's sold in Vancouver over the last 2 or 3 years. So if you want to find out what your neighbor's home sold for, just simply go to Sold Data on our site. Finally, we've got a tool called Comparables, where you can enter a few features about your home, and you'll be able to see the most similar active listings, so your current competition, and the most similar recently sold listings. So you'll be able to get a really good feel for what your home's worth in the current market. So check all of those out at Bōde.ca. If you enjoyed this video and want to see similar videos in the future, make sure to subscribe. And finally, any questions, please leave them below in the comments. Thanks so much.